They aren't busy, they're just keeping you on life support. In the high-stakes laboratory of human connection, there is a phenomenon more surgical than a breakup and more exhausting than an argument. It's called breadcrumbing. To the untrained eye, it looks like a hectic schedule or a fear of commitment. But through the lens of dark psychology, it is something far more clinical. It is the strategic administration of the minimum viable dose. Imagine a person dying of thirst in a desert. If you give them a gallon of water, they are satisfied and might walk away. But if you give them a single teaspoon every 4 hours, they will never leave your side. They can't. Their entire existence becomes tethered to the hand holding the spoon. That is the essence of being managed rather than loved. The narrative of the digital ghost. Consider the story of Sarah and Julian. Julian didn't disappear. Disappearing is a clean break. It allows for mourning and eventual healing. Instead, Julian mastered the ping. Sarah would spend 3 days in a state of low-level anxiety because Julian hadn't responded to her last dinner invite. Just as she reached the threshold of detachment, that psychological breaking point where a person decides to move on, her phone would light up. Thinking of you, this week has been insane. Can't wait to catch up soon. No date, no plan, just a ping. In psychology, this is known as an intermittent reinforcement schedule. It is the exact same mechanism used to design slot machines. If a gambler wins every time, they get bored. If they lose every time, they quit. But if they win unpredictably, they become addicted. Julian wasn't busy. He was monitoring Sarah's interest levels like a pilot watching a fuel gauge. Every time her hope hit E, he topped it off with just enough fuel to keep the engine idling, but never enough to let her drive away. The breadcrumbing checklist: love or logistics. To determine if you are being loved or managed, you must look past the words and audit the intent of the timing. Here is the psychological checklist of a manager. 1. The proximity ping. They reach out when they sense you pulling away. This isn't a coincidence, it's a response to your silence. They don't want you, they want the validation of knowing you're still available. 2. Future faking, the someday carrot. They speak in vague, shimmering generalities about the future. We should totally go to that cabin this winter, or I can't wait for things to slow down so we can really spend time together. By anchoring your happiness to a non-existent future, they keep you from evaluating your miserable present. 3. Low effort, high visibility. A breadcrumber will like your Instagram story or send a meme, but they won't pick up the phone. These are low-calorie interactions. They require zero emotional labor, but occupy 100% of your mental space. The busy shield. Busyness is the ultimate social currency in America, and breadcrumbers use it as a weapon. By claiming to be slammed, they frame their neglect as a virtue of their ambition. It makes you feel guilty for demanding the bare minimum. The hard truth, the power of the placeholder. Why do people do this? It isn't always because they are evil. In the world of Black psychology, breadcrumbing is often a tool of narcissistic supply or avoidant attachment. To the manager, you are a placeholder. You are the emotional safety net that prevents them from feeling lonely while they remain on the market for something they perceive as better. By keeping you in a state of perpetual hunger, they ensure that they are never truly alone, yet never truly committed. The hardest truth to swallow is this: they are not giving you just enough because they have nothing more to give. They are giving you just enough because they know that's all they have to pay to keep you. In any other transaction, if you paid for a luxury meal and were given a single crouton, you would demand a refund. But in the psychology of breadcrumbing, the victim often blames their own hunger rather than the chef. You start to think, maybe I'm being too needy, or I should be more understanding of their career. This is the management phase. They have successfully shifted the burden of the relationship onto your shoulders. You are now working for their crumbs. Reclaiming the narrative. The antidote to breadcrumbing isn't a conversation. You cannot communicate your way out of being managed because the manager already knows what they are doing. The moment you express your needs, they will simply provide a slightly larger crumb to pacify you for another week. The antidote is starvation. When you stop accepting the crumbs, the manager is forced to do one of two things: step up or move on. Most will move on to an easier target. This feels like a loss, but in reality, it is a repossession of your time and dignity. You must realize that busy is a choice. We find time for what we value. If someone is too busy to give you a definitive yes or a consistent presence, they are actually saying that you are a low priority asset in their portfolio. Stop checking the phone for pings. Stop interpreting likes as love letters. Stop being a well-managed resource and start being a person who requires a full meal. If this breakdown of the manager versus lover dynamic resonated with you, don't let your self-worth be dictated by someone else's schedule. Subscribe now to join a community dedicated to deconstructing the dark tactics of modern dating and reclaiming your emotional power. Would you like me to draft a series of detachment scripts you can use to set boundaries with a breadcrumber?